making time out to be here. I want to say congratulations for making time out to be here. There are 1,001 places that you could have been, and then you chose to be here. There are a number, we had over 2,000 registrants for this program. So, so if you are seeing any number here, it's nothing compared to the number of people who registered for the event. And so you registered and you showed up. You are in for a great time. I assure you on that. All right, my name is oladipupo Clement, and I essentially, at the core of my purpose and assignment on the planet Earth is I help people gain financial freedom through entrepreneurship and real estate. I'm very, very passionate about seeing people create and retain their wealth. And so everything I do, everything I've been involved in over the past 25 years, almost 25 years now, right, has been around this same assignment. So I am not in any way confused. This is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. And so I want to welcome you. 5 questions that will make you wealthy. And I'm sure that people are wondering, okay, what are those 5 questions I would just answer or I would ask and that will automatically make me wealthy? Well, let me just give you a little back story. When I think about my life particularly over the past 25 years, that has made it 25 years of my working career, I can tell you categorically that it's been a mix of both, ups and downs, bittersweet experiences. I've recorded successes. I've also recorded setbacks. But in all, it was all part of the package in making me who I have become today. Now, one thing is very clear. I wasn't also born with silver spoon. I wasn't born with silver spoon at all. In fact, I don't think I was born with any spoon at all. And so like most Nigerians, like most people around the world, we all did not come from privileged backgrounds. But I was hungry. I was passionate. I was desirous of something better. I knew it could be better. I knew where I was, but I wasn't too sure of how to navigate from where I was to where I desired to be. And so like most Africans, most Nigerians around the world, you can tell also that you know the problem you are in. You are aware of your current reality. You just desire something better. So there's a current reality, there's a desired reality, but there are obstacles. There are things hindering you. And on my own personal quest, I began to find out, and fate, providence organized it. I met with Dr. Olumide Emmanuel some 25 years ago. Actually, February 20, 2000 made it exactly 25 years. I came in contact with the great man, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. And it has been an incredible journey of transformation personally under his mentorship. And I have no regret whatsoever for ever coming in contact with him. And so some of the things I'm going to share with you right now are things I've also documented in a book. By the time I was age 27, I already became a multi-millionaire in Nigerian Naira. And for somebody who was born without a spoon and then who became a multi-millionaire in Nigerian Naira, you could tell that he came in contact with something, he took certain decisions, and he also took actions, specific actions, and that brought me to the realms of multi-millions. And when I mean multi-millions, I'm not kidding at all. And it was through legitimate means. There was no hanky-panky. Now, but I soon went broke because one of the things I realized is that knowing how to make money is one level. And any fool can make money. Any dummy can make money. Once you solve problems, you add value, you meet needs, money is what you get in exchange. Money is a means of exchange. It's a reward you get for solving problems for people. The more problems you are solving for people, the more money flows to you. But that's not a guarantee for wealth. So I had mastered how to make money, I had mastered how to create wealth, and which is a very good starting point. Okay? And there's been a lot of radical transformation in my thinking, in the way I process my thoughts. All right, and the quality of decisions I was also making. But of course, there were several other things I did not master, which is really where that got me back into financial crisis. And so in my effort to come back, right, to become a multimillionaire and even billionaire, I set a goal. I set a target for myself. And I made some important decisions. And I also asked some critical questions. And those questions is what I want to share with you today. I recall very vividly one of my friends. I've got quite a lot of them who are multi-billionaires today. One of my friends who we sat down together, we were all planning this thing together, sitting down together, evaluating our lives. One of the questions, these questions was part of the questions we asked. And I recall very vividly the guy assessing his economic situation at the time. And all he could boast of was a kettle, was a pot, was a stove. In fact, it was owing rent at the time. And I know many of us on this platform and across the globe may fall into any of this category. We may have categories of people here who you are doing fairly well, right? And you're making good money, but the money is leaving you faster than the way it's coming. And so you're relatively unstable. In this book, and because of my time, I have barely 30 minutes, and I've already done some 10 minutes already. In this book, Financial Freedom Master Guide, I documented nearly all the things that I learned and that turned me into a billionaire. And so financial freedom became my goal, and it became my mission, my assignment. And that's pretty much one of the things I documented here. In this book, I documented the 5 levels in your journey to financial freedom. The first level from bottom up is financial crisis. Financial crisis is a state in your life where you are not making money, but you are spending money. And because all of us are gifted spenders, all of us are talented spenders. So whether you make money or not, you still find yourself spending money. So that money must be coming from somewhere. It's that you are borrowing to run that life. And it's a very terrible place. Nobody wants to be. The second category of people who are in financial crisis are those who are successfully being able to build up, fixed asset portfolio of fixed assets, but they are very low on cash flow, or they have no cash flow at all. So you can be worth billions in assets, but if you are low on cash flow, it can also put you in a state of financial crisis. The second category of people are those who are financially unstable. I call it financial instability. These are categories of people who take home, those doesn't take them home, right? So they make money, they are in paid employment. I wouldn't even say they are gainfully employed, but they are in paid employment. But the take home no longer take them home. According to a report, 75% of Nigerians earn less than 100,000 naira a month. Now that was before the review or the revision of what's it called now? That was before the revision of the minimum wage. Okay, but then it's still very valid. We know of people who have 4 children, 3 children, and they live on 100,000 naira a month, and that is ridiculous. So, of course, many of this category of people cannot even afford to buy books. Many of them may not even be able to afford, and that's why we put programs like this together, and we have loads and loads of content online that can equip, because the truth remains that if you know better, you do better. Many of us, the level of income we currently earn is a reflection of the highest level of learning that we have recorded. And so if your earning is undesirable or not impressive, then you need to upskill, you need to upgrade your learning. And that's extremely important. I can't go into all the details, and that's why I mentioned this book. The third level is financial stability, and this is the most deceptive category of people. This category of people earn income, they live fairly comfortably, and they go on vacation from time to time. Their children go to good schools. So they are fairly comfortable. In fact, in Nigeria and in many parts of the world, we even categorize these people as rich, right? The challenge with category of people in this, the people in this category, is that the income they make is based on what I call active income. In other words, it is the income they earn only when they work. So should anything happen to their source of active income, they will be back to financial instability or financial crisis. And nobody ever wants, listen, I have been there before. So I'm not talking theory here. I know what it means to be paying school fees, paying house rent, and be taking care of people, and then suddenly you cannot even pay your own rent, and you cannot even cater for your own family. I know what it means. So you don't ever want to be in that situation. So if you're already touching some kind of coins, but every month you make 3.5 million a month, you do 5 million. I have a group of people, around me from time to time who earn as much as that. But in matter of weeks, they have no savings, they have no assets to their name, they have nothing to their name. They are busy carrying load, taking responsibilities for several other people who are irresponsible. And they think they are doing well until anything happens to their jobs. And I'm sure that many of us can either relate directly, or you have family members, friends who have had similar experiences. So financial stability is the most deceptive group of people, largely because the income they make is only flows as long as they retain that job. Guess what? When you lose that job, or if you lose that job, you're back to financial instability or financial crisis. And so that makes the first three levels not the desired outcome that anybody should want. That takes us to the fourth level. The fourth level is financial independence. Now, financial independence is that point in your life where the proceeds from your assets and investment is capable of meeting your personal and family needs without you having to work another day. So at that point in your life, you can now work for fun and not just work for necessity. So you work because you enjoy what you do, not because you are under pressure to have to meet a need. All right. And that is a place where everybody should aspire for, at least the least level you should aspire for. Okay. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm giving you this background, because ultimately you need to understand why these 5 questions I'm about to share with you are so critical. And so financial independence is that point. Now, but that's not the ultimate level that you want to get to. The next level and the most important level is financial freedom. And for many years, I have also confused financial freedom for financial independence. But they are not exactly the same. A lot of people use it interchangeably. I've done so in the past, but it has since changed, especially as I research and prepare to write the book Financial Freedom Master Guide. It's an important book. It's probably the best book I've written, and it's something I'm extremely proud of. And I believe that anybody who truly wants to change their finance now, by the way, the goal is not to sell a book, but it's important because there's no way I can conclude everything that is packaged in this book in the 30 minutes that I have. All right, so financial freedom, which is the peak of that journey, is the point in your life where the proceeds from your asset and investment is not only capable of meeting your personal and family needs, but it's also able to extend, goodness and kindness to other people. I will repeat that again. Financial freedom is that point in your life where the proceeds from your assets and investment is not only capable of meeting your personal and family needs, but also able to extend goodness and kindness to others. You know the reason why this is the peak and this is the most important? We were not created to be blessed. We were not created to amass. We were created to distribute, right? Your highest form of fulfillment. And I mean, if you have ever made any serious money, you would know that the greatest sense of fulfillment you derive is not from what you accumulate, it's actually from what you give out. There is something you derive from giving out that you don't find by any other means. Nothing else can replace it. And so that is the point. So I'm talking of a point where some children, somebody somewhere is being supported by the income flowing. Now, this is not being generated from active income. It's flowing from passive income or residual income. So you have built assets that have created income streams, and those income streams, whether you are present or not, is flowing consistently. This is where you really want to be. And if you want to migrate from either financial crisis or financial instability or financial stability to financial freedom, which is really what I recommend, right? Then ultimately you need to answer these 5 important questions. I have asked those questions so many times. I do that from time to time. It was what I did when, by the time I clocked 30, I set a 30-year goal. A 30-year goal, November 2011, I set a 30-year goal. The first 10 years was completed in 2021. I'm on the next 10 right now. And so I still have a couple of more than 10 years to go in that 30-year plan. But the question I kept asking myself was there were these 5 questions. And they are quite strategic in the sense that it will provide you clarity, it will provide you a roadmap. Now, if for any reason you have not gotten a text message or you've not gotten an email, we sent you an email and sent you a link to help you take the financial health assessment, to help you ascertain your current health status, that where you are right now. So you can, for you to derive as much as you should on this during this program, you need to take that assessment. I truly recommend that you do that if you have not already done so. But if you are taking that assessment, by now you already understand what I'm talking about. You know that you are, I mean, for some people, you are supposed to be in intensive care unit of financial revolution and all of those things. And you know that your case is really, really very tough one. So if you have not already done so, you would need to pick, you can scan this QR code, or you just pick the URL and then just, type it and then make sure you fill to determine and ascertain how healthy you are financially. Now, this is what I recommend. This is what I recommend. The 5 questions I recommend if you need to migrate. Number 1 is, where am I? This is a question of location. Where am I? Where am I? How old are you? Where do you live? What are your obligations? What are your aspirations? Or should I put it this way? What do you own and what do you owe? Okay, you want to ascertain all of those things. This is extremely important. Where am I? It's a question of location. Number 2 question you want to ask is, where am I going, or where am I headed? This is extremely important. Don't forget, I mentioned to you about the current reality. For a lot of us, we know our current reality, but we are not clear about our desired reality. And so, which is why when you fill that assessment, one of the things you're going to get, you get a personalized report curated just for you, for your own particular situation. So you will be doing yourself a lot of disservice if you don't fill it and complete it honestly. Complete it honestly, and then you'll get a personalized report. You see, there are 3 people you should not be lying to. You shouldn't lie to your doctor. You shouldn't lie to your lawyer. And of course, you shouldn't lie to your pastor or your imam or whatever. Okay? Why? Because whatever you supply them would inform, the kind of counsel or prescription or recommendations they will give to you. And whatever is based on a lie will end up a crisis, a bigger crisis. So take this assessment as honestly as you would approach your doctor. Why? Because whatever prescription you will get at the end of the day will be based on the answers that you provide and the things you supply. Okay, so this is extremely important. You will get a personalized report in your email. It's revolutionary. It's going to transform you for good. I tell you that. The next thing that would happen after, you have an opportunity to book a free 45 minutes to 90 minutes wealth coaching session. All right. I'll be doing that personally, right? Because like I told you, this is my life mission. This is what I live for. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'm not confused about it. I breathe it. I live it. So I know what it means to be in lack. I know the emotions that come with it. And let me quickly drop this here. Your life does not change when you start having money. Your life changes when you know what to do to start making money. The number 1 evidence that you are truly wealthy is that you know what you must do or you can do to make the money come. You know it. You see, the day you come to that point where anything you need, you know the buttons, the steps to take to make that happen, that's actually the day you become financially free. That's the day you become truly wealthy. Wealth is not really just about the money. Don't get it twisted. Having money is a fundamental component of wealth. But knowing how to create it, how to scale it, is really what makes you truly wealthy. And so you want to start your journey, start with that assessment, and then you have opportunity to book the wealth coaching session. It's going to be a life-changing experience for you, because clearly we cannot solve all problems here, especially if your case really requires intensive care unit. Okay, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Most of us who are doing fairly well now, we're at that point in our lives, and we've had to go back again and again from time to time to review and to strategize. Okay, so the first question is, where am I? How much do you own? How much do you owe? What are your obligations? What are your aspirations? All those things you capture it there. Okay. What you own refers to your assets. What you owe refers to your debts or liabilities. And it's important to note all of those things. The next one is, where am I going? Is a question of destination. All right. Every question you ask. So if, for example, you were 40 at the time or 30 at the time, you asked the question of where am I? The where am I going will be when I'm 40 or when I'm 35. Where would I be? That's what we'll put there. You put it there. So if you are married, you state you'll be married by so and so time. And then when you were single, you were poor. You cannot afford to be poor as a married person. So you have to you have to answer those questions honestly. The answer you provide to those questions also will determine the decisions and the next steps you'll take. Is somebody getting me here? If you can hear me, please type 1. Just type 1 if you can hear me loud and clear. This is so important. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so let's now get into this. The third question you want to ask is, how do I get there? First question is a question of location. The second question is a question of destination. The third question is the question of what route do I want to follow? There are some of us here who are career professionals. That may be your own route. There are those of us who chose the path of entrepreneurship, right? It's not like we just want to be our own bosses, because we desire to be in control of our time, right? And if that describes your personality, then you stay there, okay? So what route, what path do you want to follow? So how do I get there? Okay, that's very important now, because not everybody is cut out for entrepreneurship also, but all of us must have entrepreneurial mindset. But that's not the subject for today. The fourth question you want to ask is, what resources do I need to get there? What resources do I need to get there? This is the question of vehicles. This is a question of vehicles. Your vehicle is what determines how early or late you arrive at the wealthy place. The wealthy place is real. The wealthy place is existent. It's not a fluke. It's not abstract. It's real. But there are resources that will fast track your arriving there. Okay, so it's your responsibility to ascertain that. And there are a number of resources, vehicles that can facilitate your getting there early. One of them is entrepreneurship planning. But one that I always recommend, especially if you are not in entrepreneurship, is being an investor. All of us may not be business owners, but all of us must become investors. And as investors, there are loads and loads of, asset classes that satisfy or that aligns with your risk profile, your risk tolerance. I mean, most people want high return, but they don't want the high risk. But risk and return are siamese twins. So time will not permit me to go into those details because of my time. And so, what resources? If you choose real estate, which is really my favorite of all. And by the way, I've played in stock market. I've done money market. I've done all of those things. But each of those instruments satisfy different investment objectives and risk profile. This is extremely important. But because of my time, all these things I documented in this book. This book is revolutionary. I know it's going to change your life if you take the time to get a copy for yourself. All you need to do to get a copy, if you must get a copy if you live in Nigeria, is 070-8797-0441. Forgive me for having to do that in the midst of the session, but this is so critical. The fifth question you need to ask that will make you wealthy is, when I get there, how do I retain and sustain what I have attained? I'll take that again. When I get there, because there's no way you answer the question of 1 to 4, the question of location, the question of destination, the question of the path or route you want to follow, and the question of vehicle that you will not eventually get there. But not everybody who get there maintains it. So the fifth question is, when I get there, how do I retain and maintain what I have attained? Listen to me carefully. If you answer this question honestly and you get a mentor, like I was privileged to find mine, and you are accountable, there's no way you will not be perpetually wealthy. Okay? You'll be rich in cash, you'll be rich in cash flow, you'll be rich in assets. And the part of that journey begins with a decision. Do you want to remain where you've always been, or do you want a change of level? Honestly speaking, I desire for you a superior level, a better place, desirable, desired reality should be financial freedom, where you are no longer working for necessity, where you are just working for fun, and it's attainable. It will vary from person to person. You don't need to, I mean, you can live in a bungalow, you can live in a duplex and be financially free. It's all a function of, are you able to fund your lifestyle without hiccup? Hey, that's what we're talking about. You don't need to even fly abroad. You don't need to be going up and down. You don't need to have a jet to be financially free. We'll customize that plan for you. So take the time to fill assessments if you have not already done so. And guess what? You'll be getting all those other personalized reports. They are carefully done, driven by technology, and I can guarantee you'll be very glad that you did. And then, of course, if you book a session with us, we will have a group world coaching session with you, facilitated by me. I can't wait to see you at the top. Thank you very much. Over to you, Stella.